All right, what's going on, everybody? Gibby Card Stacks here, and I've got a ton of value sitting in front of me. You know I love buying up the floor, buying value, low-end cards that I think are underpriced so that we can flip them and make some money. So this is all PWE, ESE from eBay, Sport Lots, buysportscards.com, tons of places. Let's just rip right through it, see what I've been buying, see what my thought process is, and where we go from there. All right, first one, I bought this, little bonus Evan Stewart already, joy. I bought this Jonah Coleman Super Fractor Gold Vinyl. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but I bought this for 20 bucks. After the first game, who did they play? Not Sac State or Eastern Washington. They didn't play anybody very good. Eastern Michigan, I don't remember. But he had 3 touchdowns, like 100 yards. I think he had 100 yards again and a couple touchdowns in the following game this last week against Wazoo. He only had like 75 yards, but I think on 10 carries, so pretty solid. I love Jonah Coleman. I think he's an amazing running back. I really like him. I am so bummed that he went to Washington after playing at Arizona. He's going to be a very good running back, so I just figured a cool little 101. His prices kind of shot up. I'm bummed that I did sell some of his autos that night, week 1, but he's going to be a fun player to watch. I really like Jonah Coleman, so that's cool. And they threw in an Evan Stewart, little purple stars, number to 99. Hey, that's got to be at least $2 or so right there. You get a couple freebies like this over time, and you turn freebies into $5, $10. So I'll take it. Not an Evan Stewart guy, but I appreciate it. All right, little Ty Simpson refractor. This one I got on eBay. A lot of this stuff I bought probably 3 weeks ago. I am so behind on mail. It's not even funny. I've got probably all this. Let's see. I've got ComC. I've got my SGC mail. I've got probably about 10 to 15 bubble mailers right there to my left. So I'm trying to rip through this all today. I was out of town and all that. But Ty Simpson, been buying a ton of him. This was 20 bucks. Just thought it was a good deal. I'm buying Ty Simpson. He's getting in garbage time right now just because Alabama's blowing everybody out. So that's good to see. I think USF, he went in for a little bit, a couple design runs, and just, they're keeping it pretty simple for him, which, whatever. It's garbage time. But I like Ty Simpson. He's a guy I'm prospecting. His prices have shot up, unfortunately, just because I have been buying him so much, and, kind of the downside. But I did snag that for 20 bucks. Thought it was a good deal. All right, this is frustrating. I'm just gonna get right to it. So I think I got this on Sport Lots or maybe buysportscards.com. I was telling people, hey, do not buy Tetrell McMillan now. These prices are insane. After he had 300 yards, he had like 100 yards against K-State, and then 2-3 catches against NAU for maybe 10 yards or so. Not ideal. But I was like, hey, these prices, I didn't even want to buy his cards when he had base autos at like 30 to 40 bucks. Like, that's how far, I'm like, I was buying yellow autos at release week for 20 bucks. Nonetheless, so it's just more of a value thing for me as well. Is this the top loader? Is this the card? What is going on? But I think I bought into the hype. I'm a fool, but I saw the floor rising on ComC, and I love buying the ComC floor. I've got a video on ComC. I think it's like the easiest way to sell sports cards, and I talk about ComC for like an hour in my approach. So the floor was being bought up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on Buy Sports Cards and Sport Lots and go snag all of these low-end cards. I think I paid like 10 bucks for all these. I think the X Factor, if you look at like Marvin Harrison, those were doing like 15 to 20. The shimmer is not super desirable. This color looks so off. Is this the top loader with the penny sleeve? This looks insane. This does not look correct. Like, it's just, his whole body is purple. That's weird. I don't like that, but whatever. Send it to ComC, I guess, and they can deal with it. But all right, I'm not even going to bother with that. The tape is blocking me. Okay, I've spent a lot of time on just 2 packages here. Let's keep it moving. This I got from Sport Lots. This was, nice. This was $2.04 for the pair. So I've talked about it a lot. Fatherhood has changed me. Fatherhood definitely just makes me want to enjoy collecting a little bit more and just have things preserved and show things to my son when he's older, if he, whether he appreciates it or not, whatever. But I just think it's cool. collecting and having binders is kind of like scrapbooking. And I just feel like it kind of, it's cool. Someone on Discord, I think it was Matt, he was like, yeah, man, a binder page, tells a story. And I'm like, that's cool. That's what I'm about. That's how you know I'm getting old. I'm 30. 30? Yeah, I just turned 30 a couple months ago. That's how you know I'm getting old, when I'm like, wanting to tell stories and sit down, son, and let me tell you about my card collection. So I bought these. I love Breaking Bad. I did not watch Breaking Bad until I was on parental leave. I'm not super in with pop culture and just television and movies and all of that. Never have been. I was just a straight Sports Center YouTube guy going through college and just middle school life, all of that. And I had parental leave. I had 3 months of parental leave. My wife took her leave first, then I took mine. And I was like, and my son was pretty routine. It was just bottle, sleep, feed, bottle, sleep, feed. And so I watched the entire Breaking Bad saga. I don't know what you want to call it. All 6 seasons while I was on leave. And it was incredible. One of the best shows of all time. So I would love to get the Office cards. That would be next. But Breaking Bad, I like Hank. Cool character. I've got some more Breaking Bad that you'll have to see in some upcoming videos, I suppose. All right, Dylan Laub, I still don't know how you pronounce it correctly, but I bought this, not preemptively, but he was very productive. He's from New Hampshire, FCS All-American, one of the most productive running backs in college history, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe that's Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State. I don't remember, but he had a good Senior Bowl. I think he was at the Reese's Senior Bowl. A lot of hype, just kind of a do-it-all guy, can catch, can run, can do a lot of things out of the backfield. Raiders drafted him, I imagine, in the 6th round. I don't remember. I feel like he also went undrafted, so I don't know. But got this for $5. I just feel like he could pop off. I'm kind of in that prospect. I really don't care about the NFL, guys. I really do not. My wife watches it a little bit more than me, and she kind of just has it on in the background. But for me, I'm like, I could go the full day without watching NFL. I like Sunday night football just because it's like, all right, let's just end our weekend with this and, go about our day. But so prospecting with NFL these days, I'm just like, I really don't care. But I do kind of have that itch sometimes. I kind of have that itch. I want that sleeper, right? I want that Jordan Mason type, find. So, all right, cool. Julian saying Blue Ice to 124. I'm curious what the numbers are, if it's just an odds thing, but Blue Ice, Julian saying, I think I paid $20 for this. I mean, it came ESE in this guy. Yep. So just been buying him up. I think for his, people want to buy into recruiting hype, right? They want to buy Dante Moore and Jackson Arnold and Dylan Raiola. And it's like, wow, those are astronomical. I would never pay those prices, but I think Julian Sand kind of makes sense with his value, so I don't know. We'll see. TJ Finley, I don't remember buying this. Hopefully this was under, let's see. Hopefully I paid under $6.74. If I paid more than that, I will be upset. So screenshot there. TJ Finley, he's hurt. He got hurt in the 100 miles of hate, I think is what they call it. It was Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State, I think. And yeah, he got hurt. Hardly played, and then his backup put up 5 TDs. So it's an explosive offense. I don't know if they're quite like the Austin Reed and Bailey Zappi type hype like they had before. But TJ Finley did well at Texas State, and then now at Western Kentucky. I don't know how serious his injury was, but I know he left the game and did not return. Michael Williams, Gold Shimmer. Someone threw this in the Good Deals channel in my Discord. Link is down below, free to join. Lots of good deals thrown in there. This was $10. I like Mike Cal. He's got a high ankle sprain right now. I don't think he played against Kentucky. We'll see, but I think he's one of the best defensive players in the draft. He had a lot of hype before the Clemson game, and they were just like, wow, his arms are so long, and he looks so lean. I mean, he looks incredible. He's 6'5", 265, and it's an incredible frame the way he's packed that weight on. Moves like a safety. I mean, he's the real deal. I hope he gets healthy. All right, this is pretty good timing. Nico Iamaleava base best. I got this, I think, for $12 on eBay. It's just one of those things. I think I was just filter lowest to highest. Nico Bowman. He's had a lot of hype. Hasn't really played a lot. They've been smoking guys. They're averaging 60 points a game right now. They're not playing anybody good. Don't tell me NC State is good right now. They're not. Grayson McCall is terrible. I am very disappointed. NC State might be one of the most disappointing teams in the country right now from where I was hoping they would be. And then Arizona State, one of the most surprising teams in the country, 3-0. They've handled their business in all their games. They found ways to win. They've got a great run game. So very interesting to see NC State. So I'm not impressed with, they just didn't even show up. It was 55-10. Nico doesn't even play for the second half. So curious to see. They got Oklahoma this week. And look at this. I am timely on my videos. Today's Monday. You will probably see this on Wednesday. So I want to be timely. It does make me nervous just from I gotta record 5 videos on Monday just because I've been so behind. But I like being relevant and timely with you all. So Nico, I just sold one on ComC through eBay for $25, and I got that for 12. I think I paid 12 for this, so I'm gonna list that for 30. I think I'm not impressed with either. I'm not impressed with either Tennessee or Oklahoma, to be honest. Oklahoma struggled against Houston. They were okay against Tulane. Tulane's scrappy. I do like them. See, look at this. Look at this purple. I think Tennessee, at this moment in time, I think they smoke them. I don't even think it's close. That's how... I don't have much confidence in either, but just the way Tennessee's playing. Look at that. Like, this is just like... The saturation is just way off. That looks really weird. So I picked up another one on like Sport Lots or something. I bought one on eBay, I think, for like $8. Hopefully the floor is like 20. Shimmer is 2 per hobby, so nothing too crazy there. But, I like buying up the floor. I would rather spend $100 buying, maybe 100 is too much. I'd rather spend $50 buying up the floor on one guy that I really like and just buying the $1, $2, up to $10 cards. I'd rather buy that than like the $100 auto. I don't know. I think it makes sense. So this is from my friend Mystic. Mystic and I are just kind of trading back and forth, just various different cards on ComC and just in person. I don't know where he bought it, but he was like, I'll sell it to you at cost. I know you're a Ty Simpson guy, so I appreciate that. I think it was like $5 or $6 on the Ty Simpson. This is feeling extra thick compared to normal cards, I feel. So nice little Ty Simpson there. We'll see where the floor goes. And then he is a Auburn guy, unfortunately, and a Peyton Thorne collector, buyer, so throws up the up-and-comer. He is down and going down, benched for, what's the kid's name? I forgot, but I appreciate Mystic. Thank you, sir. And selling them to me at cost. There you go. No way. Did it show up? I think this showed up. Wow, I got to message this guy. So I bought this. I was in Denver. So this was July, the last day of July, August 1st. And I bought this and the tracking just never updated. Never, ever updated. And he was like, man, I've been having this issue with my post office. He follows me on Instagram. I don't know. State your name. I don't know. He talked about, just message me on Instagram next time. I'm sorry. I don't know. But yeah, I messaged him and I'm like, hey, like I'm willing to wait it out. I'm a patient guy. I don't need the card, especially Justice Ellison. This isn't somebody who's going to shoot up in value. If it were like Jackson Dart, I would have been like, okay, yeah. Like I want to kind of capitalize here, but no, all good. So yeah, he just refunded me like 2 weeks ago. So it was like over a month. I'm like, you know what? All right, I kind of forgot about it. And then every time I go back to my feedback, I see that it's still outstanding. But really, really happy with that it finally just showed up. Justice Ellison seems to be the leading rusher. He kind of punked Kalen Black. JMU, Kurt Signetti brought over both of their starting running backs. And Tyson Lawton seems to be the 1A, 1B with Justice Ellison. He did score. He leads the team in rushing. He had a huge run against Western Illinois, which kind of pads his stats. I like Indiana, 4-0. I was talking about Indiana on Twitter mostly. I didn't buy too many other cards. Curtis Rourke there, but wasn't high on Curtis Rourke, just more the Indiana hype. I think they could really do some damage compared to, where their expectations were, I guess. They just had an easy schedule. I think they could win 8 games and just surprise people. Their over-under was 5.5, and I went heavy on that. Justice Ellison gold there. I was buying those golds for $4 or $5 on that day. So, yeah, that's cool. Justice Ellison. I don't advise anyone to buy Justice Ellison. It was just more of a, hey, I think this is fun value. And to me, when he transferred back in December, that was one of the bottom 5 transfers in the portal. I'm like, bro, he just brought over his 2 starting running backs from JMU. And hey, look at him. He went to media day. That perked my ears up, and I was ready to roll with Justice Ellison and take a shot. I mean, he was definitely one of the worst priced. You get him and Ryan O'Keefe were honestly, and like Tyler Buckner, were probably the 3 worst players you could get in the product. And then when I saw he could be in line for some significant touches on a team that I like, I'm really high on, it was a no-brainer. All right, this one I got from Nash, my boy Nash on Discord. And this one, again, took a long time. And I'm patient. He sent this out like August 26th. And I kind of forgot about it. And then Darius Taylor was out for 1 week. And then I was like, oh, I mean, it's been like 2 weeks now. I bought this before the season. And he was like, dude, my post office has been brutal too. And again, I'm patient. I don't, again, it's not a card that I absolutely need. But it's cool. Gold, Darius Taylor, color match from Minnesota. I saw he scored 3 touchdowns. I didn't go back and watch. I forgot who they played. They've got a decent game this weekend. I don't remember who it is. Iowa. They play Iowa, 2.5-point dogs. I'm curious to see how that goes. But I like Darius Taylor. Just a loaded running back room, though. Saban Gura rushed for 1,800 yards at Ohio as a sophomore and a junior, and he's got maybe 10 yards total, which is insane. And then they've got Marcus Major, who seems to be running back 2. And then they still have Jordan Nubbin, who went off in the bowl game last year. Loaded a running back room, which is concerning, and his injury was a little concerning, but I think he's turning the corner. Tetro McMillan, someone threw this in the Good Deals Discord. This I will throw on my PC. I actually didn't have a true... No, I did. I just wanted a PC copy. This was like $6. His hype is unreal after week 1. But I am going to stash this because I'm only into it for $5. So that's like my permanent PC copy. I think I listed my original copy for like $80. If someone's willing to come up and buy that, please be my guest. So yeah, in terms of Tetro McMillan, I really could be fine selling all of his color non-autos except for the red. I would keep the red just because that's super scarce. The rest, I'm like, I could find that, anywhere else at any point in my life. The red, you're not going to see that pop up a ton. But the rest, I'm like, yeah, if I get a decent offer, why not capitalize? And the last one here, Robbie Ashford, shout out 8Flow. And this is timely. I don't know what's going to happen with South Carolina and their quarterback situation. Lenora Sellers has been hurt each of the last 2 weeks. Just goes out and Robbie Ashford comes in. This was one of the worst transfers in the product, and a guy I profoundly probably said I will never buy a Robbie Ashford card. Lenora Sellers in my head was the truth. I still think he is. He's learning, he's growing. He's just one of those guys, just super young, raw. You got to see, hasn't really had a shot to play, which, for me personally, I'm like out on Dante Moore, right? He looked terrible. Lenora Sellers, you could say, I don't know, maybe I'm unfair on some of my assessments, but also I think that comes with recruiting hype as well. I think Dante Moore was like one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country. Lenora Sellers, I don't think was quite up there, maybe a 4-star kid. But Robbie Ashford, not a good quarterback. Started at Oregon in his career. I don't think he ever really sniffed the field. Was at Auburn for 2 years, started some games, was not very good. He's a good athlete. He could switch to receiver, and I think he could be a problem. But then went to South Carolina. I'm like, bro, they've got... I always thought that they kind of needed some backup there just because it's a very young room, and it kind of made sense. And then like 3 weeks ago before the season, he was like, yeah, they told me that I was going to compete for a starting job. And I'm like, what? You thought you were going to beat Lenore? Where are these kids getting this info from? So nonetheless, I saw this newly listed after week 2, and I was like, you know what? If Lenoris has some injury concerns, Robbie goes in. It's a nice orange, beautiful color match on the Sapphire. Paid under $20. I think it was $18. I saw it, I watched it, and I was going to buy it if they sent an offer. And then I think Lenora Sellers got hurt earlier that day, or I don't remember. And then I was like, I'm just going to go out and buy it. Orange Sapphire color match of a quarterback. Who knows what happens? South Carolina, I think, is a year away. If I could buy stock in a team right now, I think it's like South Carolina. It was SMU prior to the season, but they're a disaster. But South Carolina, I think, is on the up and up for next year. So, all right, this was a really long video, but look, there's a lot of value to cover. So, Robbie Ashford for $20, I think that's a buy. Great Tetroa. I like Darius Taylor. I like the color match. Not a huge vivid, guy, very bright, very out there for me. Just Ellison, I got to message that guy. He refunded me, so I'm sure I can make it right there. That took, again, be patient. That took 3 weeks to deliver. This took 10 weeks. No. This took almost 8-9 weeks. Shout out Mystic there on the Ty Simpson. Was buying. This is crazy. Maybe this was just in the sun. Did someone leave this in their car? I don't know. That looks really weird. Little Nico. I think Tennessee will win, but I can't say with confidence. I can just see them putting. I'm not impressed with Oklahoma. At least Tennessee hasn't played anybody. Ugh. Mike Cal, I think one of the best defensive players in the league. TJ Finley. Yikes. I bought that probably because I thought they were going to put up a game against Alabama, and boy, was I wrong. Julian Sand, Dylan Loud, just prospecting there. A little Breaking Bad. You'll see some more coming soon. Tetroas was buying the floor up. Nice throw in on a Stewart. $2 there, I imagine. A little 101 Jonah Coleman. And a nice Ty Simpson auto. Buying up Ty Simpson. So lots of good stuff. Lots of fun stuff. I like value. Value is what we're chasing after. And guys who can jump in the season, in the draft, buying for under $10, listing it, flipping it for $20. That's what I'm all about. So if you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you learned something new, let me know. And say a prayer to the haters. And we'll see you next video. Peace.